I want to thank all y'all for coming this afternoon. And what we're doing is, my project was on the impact of rechanneling the Caddo River on the City of Glenwood. The purpose of the project was to determine that the rechanneling of the Caddo River would help the river return to its original depth and allow the river's activities to go on as they have in the past. The river has become filled in with rocks and gravel over the years, and it's causing some of the activities that went on in the past can no longer go on no more. These activities are the city of Glenwood taking water out for the water supply, the people floating the Caddo River, fishing, and also the swimming. Here's a picture of the Caddo River here down there where the Highway 70 crosses down there. That's Highway 70 bridge.
Picture.
The problem that's identified, the Caddo River. The problem is the Caddo River has become filled with gravel and rocks, and the depth of the river is becoming shallow. If it continues, the river will not be able to be used for canoeing and the city's water supply. This will cause the city to lose the water supply, as well as a couple neighboring towns to lose the ability to get water. These two areas is the city of Norman and the rural area of North Pike County. So there'll be several people affected if this continues on like this. This is one of the canoe rental places that will be affected if the river continues to fill with gravel and rocks. They'll gradually have to go out of business. The research method, the way I tried to kind of see what people felt about this was achieved. We done interviews and questionnaires to find out how the people felt about the rechanneling of the Caddo River. The mayor, 4 council members, as well as 2 city employees were interviewed. Owner of Canoe Rental Company was also interviewed, and there were people interviewed at random that come to float the Caddo River. There were also 10 questionnaires sent to 10 residents in Pike County at random. These are the questions that was asked to the Glenwood City Council and the mayor and the city employees. We asked them, how do you feel about the current state of the Caddo River? How do you feel about the Caddo River rechanneled? Do you feel the ecosystem will be impacted by having the Caddo River rechanneled? If yes, what would it be? Do you think the city of Glenwood would benefit from having the Caddo River rechanneled, and what do you believe the cost will be? These were the questions asked of people that come to float the Caddo River. How do you feel about the current state of the Caddo River? How do you feel about having the Caddo River rechanneled? Do you feel the ecosystem will be impacted by having the Caddo River rechanneled? If yes, what would it be? How many times have you floated the Caddo River? When you're here floating the Caddo River, do you stay here in Glenwood? And the other one, do you eat in restaurants here in Glenwood? And how long do you normally stay in Glenwood when it comes to float the river? These are the questions I asked the people that live in Pike County. How do you feel about the current state of the Caddo River? How do you feel about having the Caddo River rechanneled? Do you feel the ecosystem will be impacted by having the Caddo River rechanneled? If yes, well, what do you feel the impact would be? How many times have you floated the Caddo River? Do you eat in the restaurants here in Glenwood when you come to float the Caddo River? The results of the question asked the Glenwood City Council and city employees. The mayor was not able to be interviewed, and also one of the council members was not able to be interviewed due to, at the time. The mayor was having some health problems, and the council member had been tied up in meetings. The Caddo River channel, they were 100% for, which I knew just by kind of knowing that I felt like they would be. Impact the ecosystem, most of them felt they'd be 100% with no effect. The city of Glenwood would benefit. All of them said yes there. When it comes to the cost of the project, most of them said they figured it would be high. All of them said it would be high. Results of the question asked to the people that came to float the Caddo River. One of the things when asking the people here, I had only like three or four that would respond to a survey. They come to float the river and not worry about doing surveys. But the ones that did, this is what was answered. The state of the Caddo River needs cleaning, 67% yes, 33% said it was okay. The Caddo River rechanneling, 67% was for it, and 33% were not sure. Impact of the ecosystem, 67% said no impact, 30% said unsure. Times they have floated the Caddo River, one or more was 100%. Did they stay in Glenwood when floating the Caddo River? 100% of them they did. Eat at restaurants in Glenwood, 100%. How long do you stay? All of them really lived here. Results of the question asked the people of Pike County, the state of the Caddo River. 50% said it needs cleaning, 30% said okay, and 20% has been a long time since they flooded the river. Having the Caddo River rechanneled, I had 60% said they were for it, 30% against it, 10% didn't have an opinion. They didn't know one way or the other. The impact on the Caddo River, 60% had no impact, and 30% said it would impact, 10% didn't know. Times had they floated the Caddo River, all of them had floated at least one or more, and they all eat in restaurants when they come. Here was the recommended action plan to fix the problem. We'll work around the old train bridge, the bank will be stabilized along the bank behind the water plant. It built some weirs around the area of the canoe rental. Obtain a permit that will allow for gravel to be removed from the Caddo River, and get landowners to plant trees and vegetation along the banks.
Vegetation spelled wrong. Sorry.
For financing the project, we received grants from state agencies. These agencies could be Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, Soil and Water Conservation, sales tax increase for the people of Glenwood, voluntary tax placed on the people's water bills, voluntary tax placed on the people of Pike County's personal property taxes. I don't know how popular putting the taxes on there would be, but it is an ideal. Well, I kind of call it the voluntary tax from the people of the City of Glenwood currently pay a voluntary tax for for animal control, and I wonder if it worked down the same line or not. Also, the people of Pike County pay a tax to get called a conservation tax to have someone come in and trap beaver, and I wonder if it worked the same way here. This is what has been done. The old concrete bridge has been removed. The gravel has been removed from under the railroad bridge. Big rocks and gravel have been laid in this area to stabilize the bank. The Arkansas Game and Fish Commission rented the track hoe and hammer hoe. The city employees did the work. The old concrete bridge, it used to be right in there, it's no longer there. There's where the rocks and gravel been laid kind of right down through here. Train bridge, that's just kind of a picture of what it looks like down through there. This is what will be done in the future. The bank stabilization behind the waterfront will be done when the weather permits. Well, that project is now started. There've been a few loads of rocks hauled in along the river. The Glenwood Water Department will finance the work, and they're also doing the work. The weirs will be done when financing becomes available. The hope is if these actions are complete, the Caddo River will be able to return to the way it was before the river filled up with gravel. The city will continue to take water from the Caddo River. Canoeing, swimming, and fishing can continue. This is just a picture of the Caddo River to see kind of show what a pretty river it is. This is another one. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to entertain them, and I don't thank each other for listening this